Yeah, g'day everybody. Wayne here from Seasawing Marine, and I got Max Zappas here doing some video footage for me. We'd love to show you today launching and retrieving a vessel and also my specific trailer setups. The first thing you might notice is I'm not going to set my trailer up right in front of the boat ramp. We're in the rigging area and that's just good boating etiquette. I'll go over to the trailer and we'll show you a couple of features on it. Righto, so before I left home and got to the rigging bay, here's some key points I would have checked before I left home. I would have checked that the tow hitch is locked on properly with an R-clip, that the lights are clipped in, that I've used good quality shackles and crossed my chains, and I lifted the jockey wheel up before I drove out of the house. Okay, another thing I checked before I left home, she's tied down onto the trailer. It's actually illegal to travel with a boat on a trailer without it secured. So now I'm in the rigging bay, I'm just going to unhitch this and get moving. Righto, so now I've come to the back of the boat. There's a couple of things I want to do here. The big one being the bungs. And we'll make sure they're in. And also, you have a bit of soft pine wood mounted behind my motor. That's what I prefer. You can buy a specific product to do that. It just stops metal on metal vibrating when you're going off-road or driving to the boat ramp. So again, before I left home, I made sure I had my ropes all ready to rock and roll here. And because you never know what side of the jetty you might have to use, so I've got ropes on both sides, and because it's an open boat, I've got 2 bow lines and 2 stern lines all ready to go. Another thing worth mentioning is when I got this trailer brand new, before it went in the water, I coated the whole thing with a product called Tectyl, T-E-C-T-Y-L, and that's given it another 10 years of life. I just want to quickly talk you through my trailer setup. Now this is a custom built trailer and it does a lot of work off-road, going down mud banks, but the same principle would apply for any boat trailer. People spend a lot of money on boats, but not enough on their trailers. So this boat, we've got a swing out extendable drawbar. So if I'm launching off somewhere and I do not want to get my truck in the water, I can attach that and swing it out and give me an extra 2 meters. I've got a swing out removable wheel that I can use as the third wheel, it's called. So I could push the whole trailer into the ocean, maybe up in Broome or somewhere where it's really shallow. That's a 2-person job. And then I just snatch strap that back up the beach. I've also got a grill under the front of the trailer, which is put in there. So I just like to store some things there. Normally a bit of firewood for when I go traveling. I can just get out and have a quick fire. Of course, only if it's allowed. And I've got the platform down the middle of the trailer. So that's handy if I've got the boat off and I need to walk through there or do jobs or anything. And the big winner is I have these poles on the side. Now a lot of people think, oh, they're there to help you when you're reversing down the boat ramp. Yes, they do help and that's a big benefit. But I'm about to show you how having these has made my launch and retrieve procedure far quicker and safer. So to quickly talk about the connections at the front of the boat. So off the bow, I've got my winch cable. I like to use Spectra cable, not steel cable. And I use shackles, not S-hooks, because I've bent a few of those out. And also I've got the turnbuckle below that. So 2 levels of attachment, keep me safe on the road. Yeah, so I know what some of you are going to be thinking, go, how come he's undone the turnbuckle and the winch cable and he hasn't backed down the boat ramp yet? And that would mean I'd have a boat sitting on the concrete ramp. That's because of this system I've got that I want to show you here. So what I do here is I have a good quality rope, and that's the reason this bar's here. And I've tied that from the boat around the bar and figure of eighted and half hitch locked that on this bollard. And I double check that because that's going to be the only thing holding me on at the ramp, and that's going to make my launch sweet. Now this is the time to make sure the handbrake's on, you park in first gear, and if you don't trust your handbrake, get a chock of wood and stick it under your front wheel at least, or you're going to have your vehicle in the drink. So you can see I've had to reverse down close to the jetty. Now that can be an exercise on its own. You'll see why I want to be fairly close in a minute. And I, with this system, do not have to go down there and be standing around in that greasy, slimy stuff, right? Or being in a wave zone and all of a sudden your boat came off your trailer before you're even ready to do it. Righto, so here we go, here's the priceless bit. So all I do, reach here, grab my front rope, go to the back, undo that figure of 8.5 hitch, and then I just give her a tiny little tug, and there she goes. I take it to the end of the jetty, not in the middle, so someone else can use this jetty. Right, so I finished fishing or diving or whatever. I'm coming back. This is a drive-on system. Now this trailer is purpose-built. So you can see I've got good center rollers. I've got nice skids that are gonna direct my boat into the middle. And all I'm gonna do is power on low to mid, not full on. And once I'm in gear, I leave it in gear, and I'm gonna use these posts just to grab that rope and hook it on. And once again, I'm not going into the no deal territory. No, the trick now is not to come in too hot, eh? So sometimes depends on your trailer. Let it just enter those rollers and center itself a little bit, maybe neutral. Now you can feel what's going on, and then it'll square itself up. If you've got the right setup, you feel it on that front roller, and then I can leave it in gear. So long as it's all safe and no one behind me, I go straight to this rope. I'm gonna lock it on that bollard, and just to be extra safe, why wouldn't I use the other side? She's locked on, neutral, motor off, motor up so you don't drag it up the concrete ramp. And then all I have to do is drive back to that rigging bay and do everything in reverse that I did before. Tie down strap, turnbuckle, winch cable, block of wood under the back of the motor, bungs out, go home, clean your fish, cook your fish, and have a couple of beers with your friends. Well, there's a few more things I could talk about. Hey, if it's a bit shallower than where I am, you wouldn't have your motor all the way down when you drove on, otherwise you're going to rip your skeg off. You just got to evaluate the territory you're working in.